There's a confusion really about what home birth is and why people choose it. You're choosing it for your reason, and that's respected. You may be choosing it for political reasons or religious reasons, or you can do it, whatever. So, I want to tell you a little bit about birth prior to the medical profession. There are cultures around the world where women went off by themselves to have their baby. Yep, that's true. And there are cultures where women went off with their female relatives to have their baby. Yep, that's true. And there are cultures where women gave birth wherever their home was. Yep, that's true too. So not every woman in not every culture birthed in her home. So another thing that women tell each other, which is inaccurate, and I know that this is going to trigger you, is the concept that women have to birth where it's safe. Do women in war still give birth? How about drought or famine or poverty? How about if they're abused and there's no place for them to go? You will give birth anywhere, and this is very freeing. You don't have to feel safe. You don't have to feel good about your birth. You can hate every single second of it, and with skills, you will be more empowered. You'll cope better. You'll manage better. So another thing that women tell each other about preparing for home birth is that it's all about a choice. It's just your choice to birth at home. Well, in many countries, you don't actually have a choice. If you're high risk, you don't have a choice. If you're high risk in countries where it's not really legal, you can get away with it because nobody knows. But home birth should be available to everybody. And if you have medical high risks, then you want to become skilled. It's not a choice to have a home birth. It is a choice to birth outside of where you can get modern medical care if your risks become a problem. And that's your business. Same way when your kid gets sick. If you choose not to immunize, do you have the skills to help your children if they get the measles or if they get whooping cough or meningitis? So whenever we think about choices, we need to couple them with the sense that we are skilled to handle what happens. That's really, really, really important. So throughout time, we're also told that midwives are the second oldest profession, and that there have always been midwives. Well, that's not accurate either. In most cultures around the world throughout time, it wasn't somebody who specialized in birth. It was our mother or mother-in-law or auntie or grandmother or whoever was present. It's very, very few cultures around the world where there is a defined person who is a midwife, but there are some. We're also told that midwives just have a calling, that they somehow know what's happening in birth. That's not accurate. They develop skills, and they need you to become skilled. You don't know how many women have become skilled after they have been at a home birth that didn't go well because they pushed for hours and hours and hours and hours. Because when they started to push, their midwife said to them, "Oh, you're beginning to push, go ahead." So they followed their body's instinctive behavior to bear down. And hours later, when they were checked, they were 5 or 6 centimeters or had an anterior lip. We're also told that birth is instinctual. Well, of course it is. It comes after pregnancy. Right? At the end of pregnancy, if there's no medical care around, at some point we're going to give birth. It does not mean that we know how to birth any more than we know how to be good lovers if we're randy. Or if our child is hungry, that they know what things to put in their mouth that's safe for them to eat. Any of us who have had kids spent years taking stuff out of their mouths. And if we go to another country where we don't know what's safe, we don't just pop food in our mouths. So we are told as women to each other things that really make no sense. So birthing better families developed skills that made sense in the arena of conversations that made no sense. Here's another one. We're often told, only listen to positive birth stories. How does that make sense? First of all, we can't learn from issues if we don't listen to challenging birth stories. But you live a life. Are you always a positive thinking person? You always a positive parent? Do you want your child to grow up with resilience or denial that they have to always be positive? We don't have to be positive. Women don't have to like birth. Birth can be a horrible experience to women, and it is for many. However, when we are skilled, we work through that experience using our skills. That's what empowers us. So if you're going to have a home birth, you want to get very realistic about it. It's an activity you're going to do. You want to learn skills to prepare your body to open up for this big object. You want to learn skills so that you cope and stay on top of what's happening. And you want to learn skills together with your partner. Your midwife or your doula should be there to help you and to safeguard the health and well-being of your baby. They're not there to do the birth for you or to be the birth coach. So in your home birth, you want to take it very seriously. It's not just a flip of a coin and a choice. It really is a decision that you stay at home during a life-transforming experience, and that your responsibility is to reduce or prevent any risks from becoming problems, and to be in control. You don't want to suffer. It's as simple as that.